Oh.
מי שברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. מי שברך אמותינו, שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mi sheberach emotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as
A 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
Shabbat
1, 2, 3. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, Shema, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, Shema, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, take it back. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom. I know that all of you in this room have some sort of deep connection to the Sabbath, to Shabbat, maybe even to Micah, because you're here, and it's the summertime, and you're wearing those masks. And so I want to believe it's those things. It may also be, in fact, the talented Miss Lisa Silver and John Mock who provide us with the music. So yeah, clap. You're allowed to do that. My name is, as always, you don't have to clap, is Flip. I'm Rabbi Flip. Oh, please. And Baruch Hashem, we say, thank God, Rabbi Lurie is coming back to town now with my children and maybe watching in the car from camp, from a great Jewish experience that they will process with us. I'm sure we won't really get the full story. But We like to be transparent and give you the full story here at Congregation Micah, and we are trying to follow the CDC rules. And so we welcome you with the masks, and we welcome all people virtually also that are choosing to stay home and maybe watching us through a variety of the different social media platforms and our own website. And we gather for this wonderful sacred reason, right? For Shabbat and for community. And to fulfill this great mission we have as Jews. And part of that mission, as we read right in the very beginning of the Torah, is to bring a little more order to the chaos that we find in this world and a little bit more light to the darkness. So we're going to invite the Urbanos to come on forward and to kindle our Sabbath lights for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, creator of the universe, creator of the universe. By your commandments we are sanctified as we kindle the lights of Shabbat.
We welcome you not only virtually, we not only welcome you into the sacred space of our sanctuary, but we also welcome the Sabbath angels, and we do that with the words of Shalom Lechem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitkem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליונים, מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
I can't tell if you guys are having a good time or not. That's helpful. I mean, the Mass makes it a little hard to read people's faces, right? And that being said, we've arrived at the end of our warm-up, but we get to decide what everybody watches there on television. Do you feel warmed up? Because we could sing another song.
I'm warmed up.
They're very capable. All right, I'm going to take the giggles like we're warmed up, and we'll keep going with our service. And I'll invite you all to please rise for the words of Hatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחי אחון וביום אחון, ובחיר כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו
Amen.
יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
We invite you once again to take your seats. The story of the Jewish people is not just about light and order to chaos. It's also about purpose. It's about receiving the gift of love that came really in the form of Torah, and we sing about that now.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu l'marta
part of that story also tells us the power that Torah teaches us about love. And so we chant words directly from the Torah, words that teach us to love.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
I honestly believe that the most powerful part of the story, or really maybe the most influential part of the story, has to do with hope. I know that the greatest impact this next song sings is that it has inspired hope for thousands of years, really, that life can always be a little better than it is. And whether that's for ourselves and our community and our world, or whether that's for other people, and wanting them to have some of the freedoms that we enjoy. And in that way, the prayer Mikamocha, which we sing now, becomes not just a prayer of thanksgiving for our freedoms, but a prayer of hope for everybody. Here's where our story gets way more personal. So we used to do this thing, it's a great thing, where we would celebrate each other's joys. It allowed us to sort of comfort each other through each other's sadnesses. And we would bless people who had birthdays and anniversaries and just were celebrating life in general. And then we were virtual. It seemed kind of weird to go, everyone out there celebrating a birthday, but some of you are here again, so we're going to try it again, okay? We need brave people who just don't, think of it this way. Have you ever wanted to be a television star? Because this is your chance to be a television star. So if you're celebrating anything, serious or even just frivolous, I need you to come up here and tell me what it is. You're stalling the service, everybody. There's nobody here that says, whose birthday is in the month of July or August? Come on up. We got one. We got two. My own dad isn't here, by the way. His birthday's Sunday. But that's cool. I'm sure you're watching, Dad. All right, how about, whose anniversary is this year? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, come close. Watch this. Come up on the beam if you don't mind. Watch your step, because I'm very conscious of the cameras. So hold on.
Just be aware.
That's a photo op. Okay. Very briefly, I say, Eloheinu v'Elokei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, may the God who blessed any and all the ancestors that came before us bless you in these sacred occasions of joy, and remind you and all of you that we celebrate these things to bring more joy into our lives. And it works, because as a community, we feel happier on Shabbos knowing that people like you continue to live on year after year. We hope that you celebrate many birthdays and that you remember to celebrate those birthdays with us. We hope that all joyous things can be found and really make their way under that talus and find protection, especially in these scary times of pandemics and things like that. Thank you for sharing your joy with us. Baruch atah Adonai. We bless this power in the universe, Shema Kolenu, who hears such prayers. We're not done, because it looks like you're kind of having fun. So we're going to do Hashkivenu, and then you can leave, okay?
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu chaim Ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha v'hoshienu l'man shemecha. Help us to know that you're near, that your presence is here. Let us lie down in peace every night. And when we rise in the day, keep us sheltered, we pray. Guide us, God, with your love and your light. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkah shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
This is going to shock nobody. Miss Lisa wrote another song. She takes sometimes some comments that Rabbi Laurie was like, we don't have a lot of settings of Vishamru. Let's create a new Vishamru. I'm ready if you're ready.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'ridola. A day of restoration, a cleansing of the soul, for all the broken pieces once again to be made whole, to celebrate the wonder of creation and the gift of time. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, Ori le'olam, Kisheshid yamin asar onai, Et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz, Uvayom hashvi'it, Shabbat vayinafar. A day of restoration, a cleansing of the soul, for all the broken pieces once again to be made whole, to celebrate the wonder of creation and the gift of time. A day to appreciate the sacred in our world.
Thank you, Miss Lisa. We definitely believe that beautiful music gets God's attention. We therefore move to Tefillah, our central prayer, and I invite everyone to please rise.
Adonai tzifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei v'Nehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol ata rav lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech nofalim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishene afar, Michamocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, melech meimit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emar atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
And as always, in addition to the beautiful music, we leave a little time for silence. When you're done, you may be seated.
Adonai, Suri, v'go acceptable to you. God, my rock and my redeemer. God, my rock and redeemer.
You know, prayer works in all sorts of different ways. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work this way. You know, like if you pray to want to have a new bike or a new car, like you're a kid, you don't usually get it that way. But I do know that there are people who pray for things that come true, like they pray for strength, or courage, or the kinds of things we sense here at Micah and being in community and offering those prayers. And so we always arrive at this point in the service, right, sort of as the central prayer is ending, and we think about people who need the prayers the most, because the whole world is hurting. And here specifically in our community, we like to mention names. So we think specifically of Mark Cohen and Rudy Saperstein, Polly Langford and Lee Cohen, Clarence and Connie Yarbrough, Gail Hooper and Julie Collins, Steve Geringer, Savannah Morris, Jane Sherberg, Paul Richter, Crystal Miller and Charlie Baugh, Manette Chance, Mickey Collins, TJ Cohen, Lisa Silver, not you, but we are still thinking about your healing hand over there.
It's getting better.
Steve Gould, B.B. Weinstein, Alex Morgan, and Bill Drongowski. And those are just the names I have. So if you'd like to add any names, we take them at this time.
Wayne Blackman, Sherry Gallagher.
Those names, all names of people who are in need of some sort of healing, we offer this Misha Breyak, his prayer for healing.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Shebeirach imotenu makor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So I think we have some new people here. So if you moved to Nashville, I don't know, in the last year or two, just give a wave, just a little wave. Oh, look at that. All right, so if this is like one of the first, I don't know, 5 times you've been to Micah, go like this. Oh, look at that. Okay, this is going to work. I was expecting new people. Okay, so I'm going to translate, don't worry. It's Higid lecha adam matov, uma Adonai doresh mimcha. It's like setting up our famous line. It means, it has been recounted to you, mere mortals, what is good and what it is that God is seeking from us. Ki im asot mishpat v'achvat chesed v'hatznei leket im Elohecha. Right? Only to do justice and to love mercy and to walk modestly with your God. It's our tagline. It's not our mission. We got a whole mission statement. We got a vision. We got a strategic plan. We'll get into that with you way later. Right now, this is just about how we at Micah try to walk modestly. That's what I want to talk about. Because justice is happening on the highest levels of our country, I want to believe. Oh, I got a picture for it. Our leaders are trying to hold responsible or accountable people who were responsible for this January 6th thing, this attack really on our nation's capital. And I got a friend who runs an organization, oh, it's such a good name, right? It's called Kindness Matters. And what does it do? It creates and it delivers innovative programs to support the well-being, really, of children and teens. And it teaches kids to discover how to care for themselves and how to care for each other and how to care for the world through exploring things like self-awareness and self-navigation and empathy and really like a growth mindset and really a dedication, I think, to service learning. So we got these things going on in the world and in Micah. And I want to focus for a few minutes on what it might mean to walk humbly with God. And maybe why the prophet Micah, and by extension our congregation, are asked to really face that task every day. Really putting one foot in front of the other and humbly facing challenge after Delta variant after challenge. So here's what it says. It says in the Torah this week, V'zacharta et kol haderech, remember the long way. Asher holichecha Adonai Elohecha ze 40 shana bamidbar, that Adonai your God made you travel in the wilderness these past 40 years. 40 years wandering in the desert is a humbling journey. And towards the ends of it all, Moses gets this like one last chance to speak to the children of Israel before he dies. And they are supposed to cross over to the promised land without him. His need for the Israelites to listen, it couldn't be more important. It couldn't be more imperative, right? It's like dropping your teenage son off at his college dorm. Shema, listen to me, right? So Moses says, Shema Yisrael, listen to me repeatedly. What I'm about to say is really important. And really, I thought about this. Moses has to make his words adequate to a reality that he will never know, right? Facts built on the ground, things to be accomplished on the other side, the far side of the Jordan River up there. And the Israelites, once they cross the river to these new possibilities, they have the task of making all the things that they say and do adequate to the teachings that God and Moses gave them in the wilderness. And it occurs to me as Jewish people that we face that task every day. If we take this notion that I said in the Hebrew of hatznei lechet, of walking humbly, seriously, the covenant that the Jewish people made with God depends on our fulfillment along with that of other human beings. Justice and compassion increase in the world when you and I, when we all put them there, when congressional leaders put party affiliation aside and seek accountability, when communities put kids first and teach them to be kind. See, goodness awaits our doing, and we at Micah understand that society awaits our words and actions, and that God, whatever you conceive of this power, needs human partners, now clearly more than ever, to humbly walk on this path. So our Torah portion, Ekev, it expresses this message in the simple metaphor of a way through the wilderness. Remember the long way, that car ride from Jersey to Florida without air conditioning, if you want to conceive of it. The one that God made you travel in the wilderness, it felt like 40 years. And so, a paved road exists whether it is traveled or not. But by contrast, a path through the wilderness exists only if people walk it regularly. Otherwise, it gets overgrown. So, if you abandon the path for even like a short time, you can't get through. But the repeated trampling of feet clears in the wilderness a path, a trail. And each person that walks that path, their journey is easier by the passage of those people who go before them. And this message remains utterly stirring to me. What you and I do matters. Everything that we do matters, which is why it says when we lie down and when we rise up, when we're sitting on our tuchuses at home or when we're humbly walking on the way. The weights and measures in the marketplace, they got to be fair. The treatment not just of our friends, but of our enemies and strangers. The relationships that we have with our families and our friends. I mean, Judaism's been around a long time. It tells us what we can eat and how we can argue and the way we steward the planet, how we're supposed to love, the way we're supposed to live in community. And what we've learned here at Micah is to be humble enough to respect other people's journeys and to still believe that we're walking the same path. Because we're each walking our own sacred paths, but we're doing it here at Micah together. So I'm going to confess this. In rabbinical school, I'm going to turn off the mic so they can't hear. Just kidding. I was put off by the sheer detail of all the law codes in the Torah. I found it irritating, I'll be honest, right? All these legislative aspects, and they did not seem to me to be clearly related to anything that we were doing in the present day. But I don't think that anymore. Because even in Torah study or when I read something that troubles me, or when I can't even live up, I think, to the standards that the Torah puts forward for us, I'm still grateful that there is a Torah and that it is determined to help us pursue justice, and that it in fact tries to match the determination of the forces of injustice in the world, which very often feel very strong. So the laws of the Torah and the customs of the Jewish people, at times may have seemed repetitive to you or not as vital to living a life. But if you want to live a life of meaning, the Torah is here to remind us to get up and to walk humbly and to work constantly on doing good deeds. Because clearly suffering and ignorance and evil, they seem to do their fair share of repeating themselves too. The path of good deeds needs us to walk it, and to walk it humbly, and to rewalk it, both alone and together, and to do that every day. And I am unbelievably grateful that we have a community here at Micah that's trying to do that all the time. And we invite anyone that wants to partake in that journey with us. Shabbat Shalom. I have another chance for your ability to be a teenage star, or television star. You do not have to do anything very difficult. These doors slide right open. And then everybody gets to see the Torah inside, which is really just an enticing thing for them to come to Torah study tomorrow to see what it says. Somebody's getting up? Come on up. All right, Janice and Dee are coming. We invite everyone else to please rise for the words of Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה. שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We remain standing here at the end of our service to think about those people who still touch our lives through their spirits. We recall on the anniversaries of their deaths Richard Zeller, Shirley Pine, Niece Schlesinger, Barbara Frankenstein, Herbert Eskin, Lillian Klein Pollock, Nancy Joyce Ivy Mills, Erie Alice Given, Sila Lindenberg Kahane, Joel Jerome Goodman, David Foxman, Sarah Katz, Louis G. Rabin, Pamela Grosinger, Tess Nanny Affronti, Mrs. Joyce E. Geschweiler, Molly Frederick Haber, Gabrielle Albala, Helen Oakes Rosenberg, Mary Agee, Mr. Andre Chaim Susan. We continue mourning this year for Rich Michelle and Henry E. Foyer and Dr. Bob Sirkin, Aidan Becker and Robert Golden, Des Zamek and Elaine Farinacci, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Charlene Creeley, John Giffen, Faye Sirkin, Joyce Murray, Richard I. Bourne, Fran Schmerling, Peggy J. West, Christopher Miller, Molly Stein, Alfred Cohen, Joseph W. Blumenthal, Leonard Basked, Joanne Cohen, Jack Chirac, Hilda Jackman, Peter Weiss, Mary Frank, and Gersha Rogers. If there's any names I've neglected to mention or just ones you'd like to say aloud. We think of those as well as all people who have been a blessing to humanity, and we join together in the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We ask as always that the source of peace send peace to all people who are mourning, comfort to all people who may feel bereaved. And we say one final time together, amen. Okay, we sit for just a little bit because us Reformed Jews love announcements. And we've got a lot of stuff going on as we start to heat back up for the year as it's hot outside. But as I say, we have air conditioning. Now, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Zoom, we have our Torah study. It is a delightful group. We get into the Parsha. We have deep thoughts. We share a little bit of compassion, and everybody is welcome to join us. You can go to the website for our link. Tomorrow is also Franklin Pride, and I know Brandy and maybe some other folks are going to be out with some Micah paraphernalia. And if anyone is interested in joining, I believe it is taking place at Harlansdale Park from noon till about 6 p.m. The High Holiday next rehearsal is Sunday, August 1st at 4 p.m.
Yes.
You guys are going to spread out is the plan.
Yes.
Okay. And on Monday night, The Splendid and the Vile will be discussed as part of our book club. Also takes place on Zoom. It's at 7 p.m. We're doing a new sports trivia thing. It's available here on the first Tuesday of the month at 10:30 a.m., and that's in person. And so the next meeting will be August 3rd. That's coming. And Mahjong is happening, and that's on Tuesdays, and that also takes place here in our social hall. I see Paula Kerwin. Thank you very much for what you do. Schmooze and Views. Bob Smith's here, leads a conversation We all leave feeling great about the world, don't we? Well, we model what it means to have disagreement in a positive way and in an appropriate way. Shul Cloud, if you have not signed up for this Shul Cloud, this is our new portal. This is the easiest way. We need you to sign up for this because this is how we're going to have, get annual support from you. So if you want to make donations, if you want contact information, this is the way to do it. And if you need help, the office is available. Women's Circle is starting back up just on the mental calendar, August 20th and Friday at noon. That takes place. And on the events page of our Micah website, all of this information is available. We got a big party we're going to throw. It's called Shabbat Shebang. It's a Friday night designed to bring out many of our young families. The academy folks hopefully will be here, and our religious school folks. And we got music and storytelling and food trucks and inflatables, and hopefully the weather will cooperate and we'll all be outside. We need your blood. As always, we host blood drives here, and the next one will be August 29th. I see Roy Hiller. I'm surprised you have blood left. You're here every time that day. If you don't follow us on social media, you absolutely should, because we're getting better at it. and other information is always available on our website, and we will email stuff. But if you're good at this stuff, you should check us out. That's what I got. I got nothing else. Lisa, you got anything? No. Then we will rise one final time, and we'll do a short kiddush maybe, or...
Bore pari hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'hava uvratzon l'mikrae kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
All right. If you're new, if you've got questions, I'm happy to stick around and chat it up a little bit. Let's do a closing song.
Oh, well, all right then.
All right.
Hold on. I thought it was on video, but now I'm going to plug it and do it live.
The video people get a second one.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
happens.
All righty then.
Unless if you want, I could do a Don Alum. They've been loving that.
Let's see. Just pick up your djembe there. Oh, say shalom dimromav. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
A 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.